Fabulous. Good morning, everyone. As you can see, I've got my wheat bag. Monica, I hope you've got one of these. If you haven't, tell me. Let me know. You just heat it up in the microwave, um, where we are down to zero here in Johannesburg, as you, Monica Dube and Monica Ross both know. Um, it is the morning of the Monicas, isn't it? Well, we are three M's. Hey, Murray. Anyway, I've taken a shortcut this morning. Um, no point in reinventing the wheel. But before I get onto our topic of building your contact list, we have to congratulate um, our phenomenal team member who's in Bjorn's team called Gavin, who has reached his first step of senior manager. So we are very, very pleased and proud of him. Well done, Gavin. And also in that team, Sandy Berger did her first 250 points this month. And she only did one presentation in the month, and yet out of that came this fantastic start to her business. So we are very pleased and proud of these people who are doing things. And at the same time, we're also proud of ourselves, Marie, Monica, Robert, and Monica, that we are here today at the start of the month of June. And it is quite a short month. And just a heads up right now, there will be no meeting next Saturday because it's a long weekend. And Rob and I are going on an outing with the buzzing kind of bee organization to a faraway place called Mpumalanga, which we haven't been to for many years. But no, that's not why the main reason why we're not having it's a long weekend and we all need to have a little bit of a break. Okay, so our topic today is building your contact list. So, Rob, I want to share, please. And I'm going to go straight into a 14-minute video, which I'm going to stop, start as we go along, from the guru, the expert himself, Eric Worre. And it is a video from about 10 years ago. And just let me just try and see if now I've got to find this thing and make sure that you are all seeing it with me. And again, we always have a little technical challenge. All right, Rob, can you see that? No. Let me do this. Here we go. Here. We did a practice session, and as would happen, in spite of our practice now, we are not getting to where we wanted to be. So let me just keep on looking on how to work this thing. All right, so is the share up and running? Share.
Yes.
Now I've got it. Awesome.
Yeah, I
Right,
can
now
see
you
it.
should be able to see Eric Worre himself. And it is quite a few years ago, but I haven't, he's got more than 10,000 of these things up on YouTube. Phenomenal man. For people who are listening in and don't know him, you need to get hold of the book Go Pro. It is available as an audiobook online, and you need to listen to it many, many times and read it if you have it available on a PDF. So this one, he's talking about 5 steps to unlimited prospects. So I'm just going to get it going and then I'm going to stop start as we go. Is that okay with everybody? Thumbs up. Let's go.
Welcome to Network Marketing Pro. My name is Eric Worre, and this week we're going to talk about 5 steps to unlimited prospects. I remember when I first got involved in the network marketing profession, I was so stressed out about asking myself the question every single day, do I know anyone? Do I know anyone? And since I was so young, just 22 years old, most of the people I knew didn't have any money. They were not really thinking entrepreneurially. They were thinking about trying to get to the weekend. And because of that, I made my little written list, and I went out to my list with a lot of anxiety and not much skill. and I started to drain the list. My best prospects said no, and I started to go down the list. And as my list got smaller and smaller, my anxiety got higher and higher. You see, what I thought in network marketing.
Wait,
Oh, goodness.
how old is the new hire?
Sorry,
I
going to
don't know, but he
quickly get
literally
rid of
uses
ads as
Excel.
they come.
Was that the number of people you had on the list and the quality of those people that you had the day you joined. In other words, this database of relationships, that was going to determine your success or failure in network marketing. If you had a good list, a good group of people, good contact, good relationships, then you're going to have a huge business in network marketing. And if you didn't, or you lived in a small town, or you just, you hadn't developed that skill yet, you weren't that social, maybe you're more introverted like me. If you didn't have that big list of contacts, then your chances were slim to none. And what I've learned over the course of the last 28 years is that's not true. Successful people in network marketing look at finding prospects as a skill. Most of the people that they involve in their business, they met after they got involved in network marketing. As a matter of fact, ask your leadership, people who are high earners in your company, how many of the people that they personally have sponsored into their business, how many of them did they know prior to getting involved in the business, and how many did they meet after they got involved in the business? What you're going to see is the vast majority of those people involved and sponsored into network marketing were met after that person got involved with their company.
Right. So to summarize what he has just said, if I can try and find my own face here. It's only by doing that you learn. So I'm still, have I taken myself away, Rob? Have I lost us? All right, let me try and find myself again on the sharing thing. Can you all see Eric Warra, by the way? Rob?
Yes.
We can see both of you.
Okay, so just to summarize what he has said in those first 3 or 4 minutes. When we join, we think that we've got everybody we know will be part of this. This was my experience. I don't know how many other people have had this. And he mentions that half the people he knew didn't even have money, so he had this idea that he was going to go out there and sponsor them all and whatever, but they weren't thinking entrepreneurial. There's a clue in that. And he speaks about the anxiety level that goes up in people. So we have a very high attrition rate in network marketing. And I think it is partly from this anxiety that people develop. But I think we need to, I like the word he uses, database. You're starting to build a database once you realize that this is your business. And that he himself was an introvert. And so often people will tell you, I can't, I'm an introvert, whatever. And he says half the things that we're being told are not true. And we need to see this part of the business as being a skill. And Monica Dube, you yourself, Meryl, were people I had never known until I had joined the business. So we need to be mindful that we're going to meet a lot of people when we join who we've never would have thought would come into our lives.
In other words, their past list was not the key to their success. It was their skill moving forward at developing their prospect list, developing relationships with those people that mattered the most. So today I'm going to give you 5 steps. So you have unlimited prospects, kind of a short course on never running out of people to talk to about your network marketing product or opportunity, okay? The first step on the list, which you may have already started, is to create what I like to call an active candidate list. This isn't just a list of 20 people you scrawl on the back of an envelope. This isn't 40 people that you write down on your legal pad. This is every single person you know or have ever met that you could ever remember as if you're getting paid $1,000 a person for every person you were putting on the list. How many could you put on the list? And there's lots of strategies to jog your memory and to remember the people that you know and start there. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to empty our minds out on paper as best we can. We're going to take it out of our mind and we're going to put it on paper as best we can and as comprehensive as we can. And I've got a free resource for you today.
Okay, so just to summarize, he's giving us 5 steps to an active candidate list. And you have to write down every single person you have ever met. So for those of us who have all lived long lives here, we need long lists of paper to write them all down. And he's going to tell you now that he's got a gift for us, which I will share for you later on.
Created it a few years back. It's called the Ultimate Memory Jogger. It's a workbook that I'm going to give you a link to download for free. And in that workbook, I give you some training on finding prospects. I give you some scripts on what to say when you talk to prospects. And I give you a huge list of categories to help jog your memory and think about the resources that you have and the people that you could add to your list. Okay? The link for that.
You don't know what an AI work management platform is? Okay.
All right, off you go. We don't want to see you, AI. Thank you.
Networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger.
Okay, I'm stopping it there. That's why I said if you can bring a pen, but if you didn't bring one, I will share this for us on the group. www.networkmarketingpro.com memory jogger. And I downloaded it myself last evening, so it is still available.
Networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger. It's my gift to you. I hope you take advantage of it because it's really a great tool. You can download it, use that as a resource to start with step number 1, creating that active candidate list. And the reason why I call it active is step number 2 is to constantly expand your list. What do I mean by that? It's not just who you know today. It's who you're going to meet. It's who you're going to run into. It's who you're going to connect with. Constantly expand your list. Set yourself up to a discipline. And here's one of the best disciplines I can, as far as strategies I can give you. 2 a day. Every day, make sure you add at least 2 people to your active candidate list. You might meet those people online. You might find those people from some social group. You might remember somebody. You might bump into somebody walking the dog. Somebody might give you great service at a restaurant, wherever it is. Friend them up, connect with them on Facebook, whatever. They don't have to be prospected the moment that you meet them. They just have to build a connection and start to build a relationship. So you can start to build trust, you can start to build belief, and then when the time is appropriate, you can share with them your product and your opportunity. So step number 2 is to constantly expand your list, okay? Step number 3.
Okay, to summarize, there's a word that's coming up that's being repeated. It's to build a relationship. So you do not the first time you meet the person. So you got to look for 2 a day. For someone like me who likes to sell, my new one yesterday was a man at work who has a very, like you, Monica, a very sore knee. Okay, so I've got his name, I've got his number. I only got 1 yesterday, but we should all be looking for 2 a day. And he said, friend them, make friends. Because you've still got to go through that process of building trust and seeing what they need and do they need what we've got. Not everyone is going to be your friend, is going to need what we have, but you have to start looking in that direction. Follow them on Facebook. Build a connection.
Is to raise your awareness. What do I mean by that? What I mean is this. When you get out there in the world, a lot of times we run into so many people that could be incredible for our business, would be natural product users for our product or service, and we don't even see them. Our awareness is so shut down. Our social circle is so locked that we're not even aware that the person who gave us good service at the restaurant, we didn't even look them in the eye. We didn't even find out what their name was. You know, the person gave us great service selling us shoes. We didn't even say hello. We just barked some orders. We got our shoes and we left. We're constantly presented with opportunities to make a connection with other people in the world. And it's your job to raise your awareness, expand your mind, and get outside of your tiny little circle of 5 or 6 friends and your family members and start to expand your awareness. It's really a key skill set. You see the top earners in network marketing, they're expanding their awareness. They're always looking for opportunities. It's not they're not predators. They're not handing out business cards at funerals, right? They're constantly raising their awareness to connect with another human being and build a relationship. And not even so much because they want to get that person to join their business, because they collect friends. You know, they live a big life. And as an introverted person, I've been an introverted person my whole life. As an introverted person, I have to remind myself to get out of my own head and to be a citizen of the world. I have to remind myself to raise my awareness that there are other people that I could easily make a connection with and hopefully help and serve in some way. So step number 3 is raise your awareness. So the first.
So as South Africans, help and service, I'm writing my own notes as he goes along. We have that amazing word Ubuntu, which has been resonating with me a lot recently. And I am because you are, and you are because of me. And I think South Africans, of all the people on the planet, are incredibly aware of each other and of that connection that we have. I think it is a South African phenomenon, in my opinion. But we need constantly to be doing what he says, to raise our awareness. And people will pick up immediately if they think you're about to come and spear them and stab them and get them into the business. No, find a way to make a friend. And connection part that we need to be working on.
First 3 steps so far: build an active candidate list, constantly expand that list, and raise your awareness. Now, step number 4 is another mental mindset. And that's as you are looking at the world, as you're building your list, as you're expanding it, as you're raising your awareness, don't ever prejudge. It's so easy for us to say, this person is not a candidate because they don't have any money. This person is not a candidate because they have too much money. They're too successful. This person's not a candidate because they're busy doing other things. This person wouldn't want the product because whatever reason you think. You don't know what's going on in another person's world. You just don't. You could have met people, and you could have talked to people already in the last 7 days that you have totally pushed outside of your circle of possibility of even being a prospect. And yet, they may be praying tonight, searching for an opportunity to be able to latch onto and sink their teeth into and go to work with. You don't know. You don't know if that rich person is bored out of their mind. You don't know if that person who works in the corporate world is looking for a challenge. You don't know if a person who looks successful is stressing out about not being able to pay for one of their kids' college.
What Ansarada has enabled us to do is to ensure that we're able to raise capital by providing a platform.
Sorry about the advert.
Get access to our information.
Sorry about the advert.
I don't make a mistake.
Go away, advert.
Interesting things happen to interesting businesses.
Come on, advert.
Bad.
You know, into
Apologies, everybody. I need to find a way to not have adverts.
Skip.
There we go, skip. My other, try bring it.
What's going on? You can't see inside of the heart and mind of another person. You have to give them an opportunity. So it's really important that you never prejudge. I have a cousin and his name is Steve, and he was a pastor. He was a preacher. He traveled around and he was preaching. And I never even put him and he had some brothers that were involved in ministry work. And so all these cousins, I never even thought, not once, to talk to them about network marketing. Back in the early days, never even thought about it. Never even crossed my mind. Well, guess what? They were looking for opportunity. They were tired of being on the road and doing what they were doing. Even though they loved the ministry, they were tired of that particular aspect of what was going on in their life. And they joined a network marketing company without me even knowing. And guess what? Today, they're a top 10 earner in a $1 billion company. And I totally and completely prejudged them. And how much do you think that cost in income and possibility? Just for me, I promise you, you have a situation like that. You have somebody you think is too cool for this, somebody you think is too successful for this, or not successful enough. You never know when a person is ready to make a change and is looking for opportunity. Our job is not to convince people to do things. Our job is to give people an opportunity. And you can't give people an opportunity if you prejudge what they're going to do with it. So that's number 4. Number 5 is really important, especially if you're a person who has your little routines. Number 5 is network on purpose. Network on purpose. That means join some new groups, expand your horizons, join a networking group in your local community and serve people within that community and get to know people. Volunteer for charities and causes. You can't believe the number of people and influential, powerful people that you can meet by volunteering and helping raise money for charities, etc., working within your local community. If you have hobbies, expand those hobbies. Join some social groups. Join a new health club. Get out of your house and get connected with your local community and meet the people there. Connect with the people there. Network with the people there. You'll build friendships, you'll build relationships, and you will have natural ability to be able to talk to them about your product or opportunity. If you don't get out of your house, if you just sit there all day long, it's difficult to be a citizen of the world. Get out there and network on purpose. So what are our 5 strategies? Strategy number 1 is start today with an active candidate list. I hope at the end of this video you download the special Ultimate Memory Jogger workbook that will help you create that active candidate list and help you with this process. There's great training in there. It's absolutely free. My gift to you, networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger. Okay? So your active candidate list is number 1. Number 2, constantly expand that list. Number 3, raise your awareness. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. Number 4, never prejudge as you're building your prospect pool of people to talk to. Never prejudge. That's not your job. And number 5, network on purpose. Get out there, meet people, expand your horizons, become the life of the party, even if it's not your nature. You know, I'm an introverted person. I have to pay attention to this stuff. Otherwise, I'll fall back into my shell. Now, here's the other good news that I'll tell you. Even introverts inside of network marketing, many of the top earners are introverted people by nature. So if you're introverted, don't think that you don't have the ability to be social. You do. And it just drains our batteries a little bit to do it. We've got to go recharge. Okay, I understand. So I hope these tips have helped you. A little short course on never running out of people to talk to in network marketing. I hope you got value from it as always. And
So, a little bit of a different way to do things at the moment. So I'm going to quickly swap over now onto his list. And I've got a few comments to make as well. And you're welcome to come in and have your say. Please, I really appreciate everything and anything anyone wants to say and or put into the onto the group. Okay, let me just do that, share. Right, I'm going to go up with this. We've still got 9 minutes, nearly 10 minutes, so that's perfect. So just to summarize what he said in the last bit there and an update from Monica. So he said, never prejudge. It's a mental mindset. You don't know what is going on in other people's worlds, and people are hiding it a lot of the time, most of the time. You don't know what is going on, and he emphasized that you never know. And he uses the example of his family, and our job is to. I'd like to use the words messenger, to be a messenger. But our job is to give people an opportunity. And if they don't want this particular opportunity, that is fine. But if we're not offering it, we don't give them the chance to have the choice. And then the fifth one, and I think this is where the mindset really, really changes, is to network on purpose. And he gives a whole list of places to join: groups, communities, churches, volunteer, expand your hobbies. There's a knitting group up the road here. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to take up knitting, but I'm thinking about it. And then social groups, connect with your communities, and get out of your house. Now, the getting out of your house has always been a problem for many, many people. And that's a 10-year-old video I've just shown. So I haven't updated on the ones that he's putting out recently, but I can guarantee you his focus is now all on the online world. We can network with people from here to Bulgaria and back. And people are doing it as we are talking now, through the social media mechanisms, through organizations like BNI. There is a no end to it. So the world has changed. So you don't actually have to get off your chair, which you should do because it's not good for your back to be sitting all day. But you can use this other mechanism and learn how to use it. But I still think we are a face-to-face business, in my opinion, and that we should be looking at building those relationships all around us. Okay, the memory jogger is still available free for you online. And he says, start with your phone, write down every single person. I still think we have to do that, who is not already involved in your business. You don't have to contact them all. Very important. I'm reading on the second paragraph. But this will help you to get started. And if you are like myself now, I'm always restarting this business. Life gets in the way, I restart. And I love the way that the top distributors always tell us it's forgiving. You have to forgive yourself. If you haven't achieved what you wanted to achieve, you can give it up and come back, as we are witnessing within our network at the moment. And that is the most amazing thing. What brings people back to Near Life in particular is our products. Go and use some of those other things out there and you, oh my word, this doesn't work nearly as well. So do you have an address book that's separate from your phone? If so, get it and write down all the contacts you have. Obviously, younger people in particular are doing all this online on their phones digitally, but I like to have my physical written down. So we all at different strokes or different blokes, but it all works in the same and towards the same end. Wedding list, birthday party, Christmas card, whatever lists you have. Some people are great listing type of people. Look at your social media. So he was already focusing in on it: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Write down every friend or connection that you have that is not already involved in your business. If you don't have their contact information, reach out to them and get it. And that's the way then you start building a relationship. You're never going to get an immediate sale or an immediate interview, a one-to-one on a first time. It is highly unlikely. It takes at least 3 to 7, I think the statistics say, before you would even get business. For any kind of business, you have to see it as a relationship building exercise. So now I'm going to fly through this because it's so many here. Members of your family always are the most difficult. So you have to move on to people with whom you play. lists you already have, those you do business with, your mechanic. The first thing I'm going to do as soon as the term ends is I'm off to see Dave, who used to be a regular purchaser of our care. Is he ever going to do the business? Maybe not, maybe yes. Don't prejudge, but get him using care again. Your closest friends, your hobbies, buddies. Who sold me my air conditioner? Oh, have you anybody got a boat here? Cell phone, dishwasher, equipment, supplies. Those you have associated with in the past. People you know as are actively looking for a part-time job. And it goes on and on and on. So you've got to jog your memory. Who needs a car? Who needs a home? Who wants a holiday? Who do you know who is? I love this. They're quite, he said it's broker. I thought maybe broke, but lots of people around us. The jeweler, the nutritionist. So we can focus in specifically for this month. I'm only going to be looking at restaurants. Next month, I'm going to be looking at the medical profession, people who live in different countries. And he's listed them all here from Cyprus, and somebody in our team has a customer who has a house in Cyprus. You never know who lives where and what they do. And then he's given you 600 slots to write them all down. So I encourage you to download that. Hi, Susan. I've been going to phone you just now, 3 minutes. Thanks, Rob. And even if you don't use the memory jogger, your next person, make sure they've got the memory jogger. So I thought that might be an easier way to do it today. I hope that's been useful. Are there any comments? Meryl? Susan? Monica Dubé? Thank you for being here. And I hope that is a trigger for all of you to pass it on to the people you know, because it's a people's business. And I loved what he said there at the end about introverts. Because once you start networking on purpose, it's not about you. It's about, if I don't do this, I'm not going to achieve what I want to achieve. So that's the bottom line and the end. Susan, can we have a quick conversation? How was your meeting last week in Cape Town?
It was lovely. It was very interesting.
Oh, tell us some more about it.
Connie made a nice speech about things, and the lady I went with, she took someone with to go and have a look, and they had lots of people there. But it's more the colored community in Cape Town that's going there. It's not the white community. There's just a few whites
Why
around
is
there.
that? Why is that, Susan? What's wrong with that particular community you mentioned?
There's nothing wrong with the colored community, but it's that community that's actually selling.
No, I'm
it.
saying
It's not the
I'm
white
asking what's wrong with the
people.
white. I'm asking what's wrong with the white community.
No, I don't know what's wrong with the white community. And, they had the display of all the things, and you can test everything and
Awesome.
look at
Okay.
it and everything.
Monica, I know you won't be there next week, and we're the only ones here. There is a meeting in Joburg, for a family meeting at the warehouse. They will be open for business for 2 hours, and they will be having food available for free for distributors. So if you know anyone in Joburg, send them along. Thank you for coming, everyone. Keep warm. Susan, I'll talk to you more. I'm so glad you went to that meeting. Meryl, great to see you. Hope your bathroom's going well. Monica Dubé, get better. Lots of love, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye.